Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Margaret Lin. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi hosts 7 different year-end aid distributions in Vietnam to help impoverished families. TIMA in Canada hosts a 2-day free clinic in Toronto while also sharing experiences with local medical students. Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter provides a machine operating course so impoverished young people can learn a skill. As the Lunar New Year is just around the corner, Tzu Chi is hosting year-end blessing ceremonies around the world. But first, we take a look at such ceremony in Vietnam, where 7 different year-end aid distributions in Binh Duen Province and Ho Chi Minh City have been held to help more than 1,000 impoverished families enjoy a better New Year. Prior to the Lunar New Year, Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers have held year-end aid distributions in Binh Duen Province and Ho Chi Minh City for more than 1,000 families. In Binh Duen Province, the people the volunteers have served are those who are visually impaired, physically disabled, and the elderly.
I saw a very beautiful scene. I expect myself to be more devoted. I've been engaged in charity work for 30 years. However, I only do it by myself. I do not join any groups. I'm very happy to see such a big group.
My name is Luan, and today is my first time to participate in the Tzu Chi activity. I feel very happy and touched. Seeing that the impoverished and less fortunate residents have received supplies from Tzu Chi, I feel very moved.
Here in Ho Chi Minh City, volunteers have already set out before daybreak to get to the distribution venues, either by bus or by ferry. The supplies volunteers have distributed to local residents include a bag of rice, a bottle of cooking oil, as well as a pack of noodles to help them enjoy a better New Year. As the year-end blessing ceremony in Dallas, Texas of the United States, Tzu Chi volunteers invited teachers from schools they've worked with, as well as residents affected by Hurricane Harvey to attend the event.
At Tzu Chi Dallas Chapter's year-end blessing ceremony, children from Daai Kindergarten performed for the opening program. The attendees have felt the vitality of the children. The residents affected by Hurricane Harvey also feel encouraged. One of them is moved by a child's gesture of kindness.
Oh, no, you got to get this. Oh, thank you.
At the ceremony, the attendees also donate their filled coin banks, gathering everyone's love to help those in need.
I came over because a student had collected and I was coming to deliver her donations and was very touched.
This is going to the 26 years, so we will bring Tzu Chi Dallas to different level. We hope you can join us. We run up together. Thank you.
After watching a film documenting the Foundation's missions worldwide, the participants have made the New Year wishes.
You're just living here and you're kind of focused on what's going on here and you're kind of living in a bubble. And so with these kind of opportunities, it's nice to get to see what's going on and find ways to help.
Tzu Chi volunteers also give out red envelopes of blessing and wisdom, which are imbued with the best wishes of global Tzu Chi volunteers. At the end of the event, the attendees light up their lamps to embrace the new year with their pious goodwill.
As the year-end blessing ceremony in Frankfurt, Germany, Tzu Chi volunteers perform a sign language song and distribute red envelopes of blessings and wisdom to the participants. In addition, they also encourage residents to make donations for charitable works.
The sign language song is an interpretation of the Sutra of the Medicine Buddha as part of the year-end blessing ceremony in Germany, which was performed in front of an invited audience. Tzu Chi volunteers engage in a presentation sharing Tzu Chi's faith regardless of borders and religion, as natural and man-made disasters continually require the attention of everyone.
Whenever there's a need of help, we will go to help. And hopefully everyone, and then this organization of purifying the heart, the mission.
When our hearts are unsettled, there are disasters, as we need everyone to protect the Bodhisattva path, as I hope that everyone can work together to do something for the general public.
The annual distribution of red envelopes of blessings and wisdom is Master Zheng Yin's gift, as many here are eager to accept this gift.
At this stage of my life in Europe, I'm experiencing another phase of growth as our hearts are opening, and we see that there isn't much of a difference between others, as I hope to have a clear string of consciousness.
Tzu Chi volunteers invited everyone to adopt the bamboo coin bank, and even this young baby was able to make a donation as his sign language song show everyone's love and compassion.
In Cambodia, the volunteers and local residents brought their fuel coin banks and the recyclables they have collected to attend the year-end blessing ceremony. They hope by donating the money and resources to Tzu Chi, they can help more people in need.
Tzu Chi volunteers decorate the venue for the year-end blessing ceremony in Cambodia. The location is on the top floor of the liaison office. It's not a huge space, but it's cozy and warm.
I brought my bamboo coin bank to help people who need it more than me. Although I'm poor, but I want to help others.
I feel that we must do good deeds so that we can accumulate blessings.
Tzu Chi is all about companionship and giving with love. Doing good doesn't necessarily require a huge amount of money. Little money can do great things too.
Volunteers are promoting recycling and saving money to do goods to the local residents. Other than the coin bank, one can also save up plastic bottles to turn their love into useful resources.
I brought plastic bottles to donate to Tzu Chi because it can help poor people.
In 2018, I hope to bring people in one by one to complete our missions, and hope to bring in Taiwanese businessmen as well.
Tzu Chi care recipients and community residents receive the red envelope of wisdom and blessing from volunteers. They also wish that the new year can be peaceful and prosperous.
In Taiwan, Li was certified as a Tzu Chi volunteer this year, fulfilling a wish that she had since junior high. When she passed her high school exams, she chose to study at Hualien Tzu Chi High School and also influenced her family to join Tzu Chi. She is now working, and she uses herself as an example to change her colleagues' perception about Tzu Chi. She feels that just do it is her biggest motivation for volunteering for Tzu Chi.
At the Xindian Jinsi Hall, Li Li is finally certified as a Tzu Chi volunteer after 13 years. When she was in junior high, she started participating in Tzu Chi events. Then she invited her classmates and family to join her when she heard the master wanting Tzu Chi volunteers to invite more people to join Tzu Chi.
After she joined Tzu Chi, she began with recycling and also invited her father to do recycling. Then I wanted to know more why both of them were so devoted.
At high school, she chose to study at Hualien Tzu Chi High School. When she started working, she heard different kinds of talk about Tzu Chi.
At my workplace, many of my colleagues were very negative or even critical about Tzu Chi. I wanted to correct them on the master's behalf, but I didn't know how I could prove my points.
She must do shift work, but she also received training to be certified and also takes part in sutra adaptation performances.
I had thought that this person would have negative ideas about Tzu Chi, but when I faced him with a smile, his response was surprisingly positive.
She remains firm in her inspiration and has also changed people around her.
The ways I work can influence my colleagues. They may not fully support what Tzu Chi does, but at least they will change their perceptions about Tzu Chi because of me.
A family is blessed if the husband and the wife live harmoniously. In our next report, we meet a couple in Taiwan who used to quarrel a lot when they were young. The wife married her husband when she was only 19, and neither of them had a stable job. When the couple quarreled, the wife even left the home. Let's take a look at how the couple eventually mended their relationship and became united with one heart.
The couple worked quite hard in the construction sector. Years ago, Contractor was quite young, so he tended to spend a lot of time drinking and womanizing. This made his wife very upset, and they became more confrontational. Eventually, his wife chose to leave their home.
Once I quarreled with him, it made me feel very bad, so I wanted to go out. But I didn't have friends and didn't dare to go to any of my relatives' homes either. Then I remembered I heard Tzu Chi and knew Tzu Chi was in Hualien.
She felt helpless and didn't want to give up the family either. Then the trip to Hualien and a year-end blessing ceremony brought her family back to one piece.
I used to believe I suffered a lot, but after I saw the video, I realized I was quite lucky because my husband worked and brought money home, and I also had a family and our kids were decent. It was quite shocking to me.
With a change in attitude, their relationship became more harmonious, and they walked on the Bodhisattva path together. They have also become Tzu Chi's honorary board members through their work.
I had lived a tough life before, so I've been thinking that if the money can be used on people who need it, it is a blessing.
75-year-old蔡谢丽花has been engaged in recycling for over 20 years. Worried that she might work too hard, her children were opposed to her idea at the beginning, but later they decided to support her. Even after she was diagnosed with a form of lung cancer in April last year, she never stopped carrying out her recycling mission. 75-year-old Cai Xie Li Hua was once injured in a car accident, and she now works slowly. Despite this situation, she goes out to do recycling every day. She has even set up a small recycling point in front of her house. She may clean off the recyclables she has collected.
I was opposed to her idea, but slowly I have started to support her with actions. I now sort recyclables myself.
Mrs. Cai Xie's perseverance in recycling over the past 20 years has never changed. Even though she was found she has a form of lung cancer in April last year and has to go to the hospital regularly for treatment, she makes good use of the rest of her time to do recycling.
听到妈妈生病的时候，其实心里非常的不舍。
Upon learning that my mother fell ill, I felt for her. My mother has been working very hard, but I don't know why she has to bear this pain at such an old age.
At Zhanghua's year-end blessing ceremony in a local community, Cai Xie Li Hua brought her family to the stage sharing experiences.
Despite my old age, I can still do recycling to save the earth and do good deeds for our next generation. I feel grateful for my children who are very filial. They've never made me worried.
As Cai Xie always feels grateful, she has overcome the pain arising from her illness by serving others. TIMA in Canada invited a TIMA doctor from Taiwan and other doctors to hold a 2-day free clinic in Toronto. In addition, the doctors also used the occasion to share experiences with local medical students.
To many Chinese people living in Canada, they tend to feel at ease with traditional Chinese medicine.
Dr.
Cho Longpong of Taipei City Hospital went to Canada and joined the local TIMA members for a free clinic in Toronto.
We've been hoping for a Tzu Chi medical mission in Toronto for many years, and we've also accumulated many experiences for it. We consider this a torch being passed from the West Coast to the East Coast, and lighting up the first torch of the medical mission on the East Coast.
我相信对这边的医师的教育，对医生的训练。
I believe this will improve the education and the training for their doctors and also the care for their patients. It will slowly link up the education, the job training, and the training for the doctors. Under this condition, I think the development here will be new and has a lot of potential.
The goal of this two-day free clinic is to give local doctors, the medical administrative team, and the medical students from Humboldt College a chance to learn Tzu Chi's medical culture, so they can be prepared for Tzu Chi's free clinics in the future.
Tzu Chi held a special activity to promote vegetarianism in Karimun, Indonesia. Many people were invited to attend this event to try delicious vegetarian food and make their body and mind healthier.
Plant protein cannot provide complete protein, but when eaten together with grains, it can meet all nutritional needs. Tzu Chi in Karimun, Indonesia continues to promote a vegetarian diet, as some volunteers get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to buy food.
Dari jauh-jauh hari kita udah pesan, udah buat menu.
A few days ago, we set our menu, and for the past 3 days, we've been going to the market to buy vegetables to make fresh and delicious food.
Awet sampai yang cepat rusak, semua sudah kita tentukan hari-harinya gitu.
Paulina is a sophomore year student and is busy doing homework, but also finds some time to help out.
I've done this volunteering for vegetarian meals before. Eating vegetarian food makes me feel healthier. Also, it makes it more difficult for me to become sick.
There are also young women such as Sharina who didn't understand this diet and is now trying it for the first time.
Honestly, I've never been vegetarian in this life. This is the first time I've tried vegetarian food. I feel the taste of vegetarian food is something that we should treasure.
More than 200 people came together to share this healthy and nutritious meal.
In Taipei, Taiwan, Tzu Chi's diet mothers in Wensan district are promoting vegetarianism at Wugong Elementary School. To let children enjoy the delicious taste of vegetables, they created a vegetarian sweet corn filled with salad for more than 60 students. The students have enjoyed them very much and learned about the importance of having a balanced nutrition.
They give big bites on the corns. This is not a soft ice cream cone, but a vegetarian sweet corn.
It's very sweet. We want to thank the mothers from Tzu Chi Foundation to come to our school and teach children to eat vegetarian food.
Holding cones in their hands, over 60 grade 1 students put a salad into their cones. It has so much fun and makes them laugh. Tzu Chi volunteers and the Wugong Elementary School came out with a vegetarian cone, so the children will love eating it at the first bite.
Through tasting the salad, the children will know there are different ways in eating vegetables, and vegetables are good for health.
According to health examination in New Taipei City in 2014, close to half of the elementary school students are nearsighted. They often eat out and they often eat Western-style food, which can cause imbalance in nutrients and also affects their eyesight.
Taiwan is a kingdom of eyeglasses, so we hope to use this event to teach children how to maintain their eyesight, and vegetarianism can keep them healthy.
The children use their own eating tools. It is hoped that the children can bring home the right concepts and change the diets in their families.
The Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter has organized a machine operating course for the impoverished people to learn the skill and support themselves. Since a Tzu Chi volunteer who owns a factory fully supports the project, the trainees get to obtain some hands-on experience in the factory besides learning in classrooms. Let's take a look.
Tzu Chi Philippines Chapter holds a machine operating course at the factory. The factory owner, who's a Tzu Chi volunteer, fully supports this project.
It was my father's dream long before to put up a vocational school, but it never materialized. So when my brother and I heard about this project, we never give it a second thought. We didn't give it a second thought.
22 participants are divided into 3 groups, each with a team leader. Every participant gets to practice on the machine.
We are teaching the techniques, knowledge, and operation in order to make the ideal products.
As the factory employees teach the impoverished young people the skills, the participants, including females, learn mindfully.
I'm not that confident to learn about the sales and operation of machines. Despite that, I still join the class because I know this will help my family. I can learn new skills and prove that women can do men's jobs.
As the participants look forward to applying what they've learned, they're a step closer to realizing their dreams.
One of my long-term plans is to have a house because we are staying with my aunt and her families. I'm not just talking about giving my mother the life she wants, I'm realizing it. In Malaysia, Tzu Chi continues to look after a care recipient whose husband died, leaving her and her 16-year-old son to become dependent on each other. After receiving assistance from Tzu Chi, she began working as a recycling volunteer, though her son remained rebellious and was sent to the Malacca Welfare Bureau for counseling. To help this family, Tzu Chi volunteers recently mobilized to help them and give them a new environment and a new lease on life.
Things are all piled up in the middle as the house is chaotic, with Tzu Chi volunteers stepping in to help this family move.
We're helping this recycling volunteer move. She can't do it on her own as the group can provide assistance.
The check has not yet arrived. When it comes to move some of the small things like clothing and other items, you can move those things.
After her husband passed away, she and her 16-year-old son became dependent on each other. However, her son was quite rebellious and was sent to the Malacca Welfare Bureau for counseling. Many believe that the move is in the best interest of her child.
Her son is here and made some bad friends, so we thought that we would move them to a new environment.
We hope that moving her to a new environment can improve her life.
A non-familiar environment poses its own challenges as the family needs to be brave.
Because the people are quite good in Salendro, we're quite sad to leave. But my son needs this. I did it for him. And we need to try and move over here, and it'll be better when my son comes back.
We hope your journey in life goes smoothly and your son grows filial and in good health.
With love and compassion, this mother learns that she is not alone in this world, as she hopes the new environment will bring a new beginning for her and her son.
Tzu Chi Kedah chapter in Malaysia held 2 year-end blessing ceremonies, giving local residents a chance to know more about Tzu Chi. At the occasion, medical volunteers also reminded everyone to pay attention to their diets during the Lunar New Year. That's all the time we have for today. See you next week.